which was started by Jalaluddin Rumi, the poet and mystic. He wrote a very beautiful poem called The Song of the Ney. And in this poem, he talks about how ever since the Ney was cut from the reed bed, it's longed to get back to the reed bed. It's looking for this unity. And he uses a poetic image to compare it to the human body, or the human being and the human condition, in the sense that the Ney has 9 openings and the human body has 9 openings. And all the sounds that the Ney produces, and all the sounds that we produce, and all our endeavors and all our pursuits, are really us just trying to find that unity, search for that oneness. This is a sugarcane reed flute, grown on the side of the river. No matter what size the flute is, it's a smaller one, there are always 9 segments. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So the Turkish ones use these with a mouthpiece called the baspara, usually made out of bone, wood. Now, of course, we have plastic. It has 6 holes in the front. Traditionally, it has 1 thumb hole in the back. This one has an added thumb hole. And the reason for that is the flute is made in the maqam system, to be played within the maqam system. And so this note, these 3 held down with this in the back, is actually a quarter tone. So it's not in the Western musical system. So by having this little extra hole here, sometimes I can play passages that wouldn't be typical, for the Ney, if I'm doing some Western styled music or something like that. Now, the flute is actually played, obviously with your breath. But Rumi says that really it's not the breath that is the Ney, that makes the Ney sound. It's the fire that's within the breath. And so this is what gives the Ney its longing and its beautiful quality. So I'll demonstrate it to you. This particular ney is called the Mansur ney, which is the man ney, basically, in Turkish. This is called the kiz ney, which is the female ney. And this particular one is called the bulahenk, which means harmonious, because it's the harmony ney to this one. Now, they're also played, like what I just played to you, a taksim. This is on a maqam. This particular one was called Hejaz, which comes from the Hejaz region of the Arabian Peninsula. So the mood of that is one of longing, solitude, the desert, this type of feeling. Each maqam has a different flavor. So the ney is played in that context, which is more ceremonial and for the whirling, but it's also played obviously in like dance, belly dance, and things like that. And usually for that, they use the smaller ney. Now I'll move on to this instrument, which is called the oud. The origins of this started in Central Asia, probably in the Persian area, in Iran, and it was called the barbat at that time. It was a smaller body than what you see here, and it had only 4 courses of 4 strings. As it moved across the Silk Road into a lot of other countries, eventually reaching Spain, it gained the shape that it has now. Basically, very small pieces of wood are heated and bent over a frame, glued into a piece of wood, a block of wood that's inside here and here. Then the face is put on, and the neck is inserted this way, and then with a headstock added last. This particular one is a mix. The back is Turkish. The front has more of an Arab style. The back is walnut. The front spruce. The fretboard ebony. And these are ebony, the tuning keys. And then this, they call the nut, is made out of bone. It has 11 courses now in its modern form. 5 double courses and 1 low single course. This particular one is tuned to the Arab tuning, which is C, F, A, D, G, and C. The Turks use different tunings too, and also sometimes the Arabs tune the low string up to a D. In Arab music, this is called like the king of all instruments. It's a compositional instrument too, and it's also called the grandfather of all string instruments. So I'll play a little bit for you. You can hear the sound of it.
You want to play a tune now?
Yeah, you want to introduce it?
Okay, cool.
All right, so we're gonna play a tune together now that we have the amp has arrived.
Right? 1, 2. Thank you all so much. My name is Jeff. I'm going to quickly introduce the drums that I'm playing here. The instrument you just heard here is the doumbek. And I started playing drum set, which I think how most drummers in America start playing. Started at a young age and little by little got into more of the hand percussion. And I really like these instruments because they kind of have a lot of the qualities that the drum set has. This one in particular, like the low bass sound, and the high kind of like the snare. So I think when a lot of people where we come from start with these instruments, they start playing these, they kind of play traditional drum beats on them. And little by little get more familiar with the more world rhythms. But this drum's really cool. You can use one hand to mute the head and change the pitch. And another thing you can do is put a hand or fist inside the drum and lower the pitch. Which is a lot of fun. And then the jingles are a big part of our performance. They're just a nice way to keep the rhythm and add kind of the cymbal element from the drum set. So between having the jingles on the foot and the lows, like the bass and the high, you can kind of simulate some of the qualities that you have on the drum set and adapt it to a much smaller setup. So that's the doumbek here. And then this drum I actually bought here in India a few days ago for this performance. A lot of the groups here have had multiple percussion players, the group Mamadou and the group from Brazil and things like that. We had another percussion player with us, but unfortunately he had to leave. His name's Dan. He helped really put this group together for this festival. So we miss having him here, but I tried to come up with a way that I can replace some of the sound now that we only have one person playing percussion instead of two. So I picked up this drum, and oftentimes, this is the darbuka. Oftentimes it's similar sounding to the doumbek, but this one has a tambourine inside. So it really adds a lot of texture to the sound. So you can play it pretty similarly, but it has a lot busier of a sound. So I was lucky to find this because it helped kind of take up some of the texture that was missing when Dan had to leave. So this has been a good find for me, and convenient that that was available, and I'm very excited to take this home and use it a lot more. And then lastly, I've been playing for this group the kanjira drum, which hopefully some of you recognize. It's a South Indian drum. A lot of times when people see it, they think it's a tambourine, and I often joke that my tambourine's broken. This doesn't really sound like a tambourine. It only has one set of jingles here, but the jingles sound when you play it with your right hand. And for me, this has been really a new adventure, because everything that I played, starting with playing the drum set, was having two hands, a right and a left, to play the drums. And this was the first thing I've been playing that has the split hand technique. And the way you play is you split your hand into one finger and three fingers, and you can go back and forth, so it becomes kind of like a right and a left in one hand. And then your left hand holds the drum and bends the pitch. And there's really only 3 strokes, which is it's a great drum to learn for beginners. One stroke is hitting by the rim with one finger, and then the right and the left, the split fingers, play in the middle. And between those you come up with different patterns, so I'll just demonstrate a couple of quick patterns. That's the kanjira. It's sort of a new instrument for me, and I've been studying with someone in India over Skype lessons at home. So I've taken a few lessons, and looking forward to taking a lot more and really getting into this drummer. And it also relates to the conical system, where you have syllables that you can speak that relate to the different pitches. So any piece that you play on this, you can also recite. So it's great on the plane rides and things like that. I can work on the pieces quietly, just reciting the syllables or reading through them without actually making any noise. So it's a great instrument to learn a lot of the Indian rhythms on.
So these instruments that I play over here, I start with this one. This is it looks like a normal guitar, but if you notice the neck, silver looking, it's a fretless guitar. It's a cross between an Indian instrument called a sarod, a North Indian instrument, and a normal electric guitar. So it's a very new instrument. Very few people play it. So it's fun because it's uncharted territory for exploration of stuff. Studied North Indian music for a lot of years. I was a disciple of Debashish Bhattacharya for about 5 years. And so this allows you to get, if you play it in a certain style, you can get a very North Indian sort of sound. So you can play some very pretty stuff on that in this respect. And then also it allows you to play in a more Carnatic style. If I change the ornaments, I would play. So that may be more familiar down here. That's more of the South Indian style. But then, there's a lot you can do with it. For our repertoire, we play a lot of the Turkish music. And so I can use, this device is called an EBO, and it just, holds a note, basically. But using that and then some different of the trill techniques and stuff like that, I can get a very non-guitar, more like an instrument called the duduk. So that has doesn't really sound like a guitar, which I like. But then also, you can get the in-between pitches that you wouldn't be able to get in normal guitar. So those are non-tempered pitches, though. If you imagine a keyboard, those fall between the cracks on that. And just, with the fretless, you can get a whole bunch of different sounds. You can get a very Asian sound. Something like that, so it has a wide variety, and then for the Western music, you can get a very... more like a blues guitar. So this instrument allows you to really go around the world, and because the guitar comes, that instrument that Tom plays, the oud, is as he said, the grandfather of the guitar. All oud became the lute became the guitar. So this instrument kind of brings it back to where it came from. Now I'm going to switch instruments right quick. So this instrument is called the kemençe. Kemen means bow, and chet means little, so it basically means little bow. This one is from Azerbaijan. There's some debate. Every country that plays it claims it came from there, but since I don't have any dogs in that fire, I'm going to say that it probably comes from the Uyghur people in East Turkestan, which is now part of China.